Namaste. I am Costin, High Priest of the Great Tier. I am the only High Priest on this planet. It is a role that I have in only the transition period between ages, where I have to consider this creation from a different perspective of a student, and what we have now at the gates of heaven represent all the students that evolve from other forms to this form 5 ages ago, and the old students that repeated this cycle of ages. As I said in another video, in this multidimensional school of consciousness, each class represents a form in my explanation. So to reach this form, you had to complete several other classes, other forms, because you can jump from a lower level of consciousness to a higher level of consciousness, and it's part of our creation that is represented by this school in light, a school where the archetypes gain their awareness in time to understand who they are and to reunite. We are all a family. Even if other forms don't understand our level of consciousness, we, as in this form, in this class, we have the awareness and the level of consciousness to understand all the other forms that are experiencing life in this, let's say, home that represents for all of us. All of you completed these classes that represent forms, and you can relate and understand the struggles of the forms, especially the struggles created by this form and these 2 ages of the night, where we lost the awareness of the self. We have this 8 ages cycle that represent a great year. This great year represents the cycle of the day and the night. From our perspective of what we understand as day and night, has 24,000 years according to the knowledge that we left in the East. And at this point, since we are in the morning, represent the knowledge that has more sense from a spiritual perspective, because it's much accurate. When this form is organized in 4 tribes, in 5 ages ago, for the new students that begin this cycle of experience in this form, you started in what you understand as being a part of one, of I don't know in Romanian has much didn't drag, meaning a whole. I don't know how to explain. And this journey for all the students begin in light, at 100% consciousness of this form. You started your journey along with your soulmate that represent your soul split into according to the pattern of experience of this form. And we descended for a number of 4 ages, from 100% consciousness to the minimum level of consciousness that we had until year 0. Year 0 represent the start of a new great year, the start of a new hope in the sense of the consciousness, because we entered in a cycle of ascension. Before year 0, our consciousness was in descension, meaning we descended from 100% from a masculine perspective, I'm talking about now. In Satya Yuga, in the Golden Age, in the first Golden Age that is represented from this great year cycle, is an age of indecision. The new students start this journey in heaven. Heaven at that time was built by the old students that we had in these next 3 ages that you will discover. And in these 3 ages we teach the students of life many things about in different ages at different level of consciousness, until the students return to the 8th age, where they end the cycle in this form and ascend in Valhalla. After Valhalla, we have the new students that come evolve from animal realm in this form, and we take the new students and descend once again to these ages of through these ages. We have this cycle of 8 ages is divided in 4 ages in descension and 4 ages in ascension. The ages in ascension represent, let's say, the next 3 ages, the most beautiful ages that we have on this planet, in this multidimensional school of consciousness, and not only for the human form, but for all the forms that experience life in this multidimensional school of consciousness, because we as a superior class, we gain the awareness of our purpose, and we correct our creation in order to balance this multidimensional school of consciousness. This journey, I will, it's complicated to explain in a short video, the creation. In your first stage, you discover the whole, the one, the, the purpose of all of us. Our enemy was, let's say, in another sector of the universe. Your idea of patriotism was about this sector of our universe that we had awareness at that time. This world was not divided, and we all see each other as one. There were non divisions, not even of tribes at that time, and our need for many of the things that we consider necessary now were not necessary then, because the more you grow in consciousness, the more you became aware of how you affect the balance and of the world that you live in, and you start to realize that involuntarily you create lessons not only for yourselves but for others. And this is a process of the evolution through this cycle of 8 ages. In the the 4 ages where we are in the ascension, we lose the sense of the self. In the next 3 ages, we gain the knowledge of the self, and not the entire planet. And in this ascension, step by step, where we will correct the creation at different hours, we will achieve once again the highest level of consciousness. This, the more we became human, because at this point in time we are not so human. We are just at the level of animals, since we forget who we are and what is our role to play in this multidimensional school of consciousness as higher beings, elevated beings. It's like you are in, let's say, college at this point in time, and you eat at breakfast first class students. This is what we created in these 2 ages, and we started to create some horrible things in this night of the Great Wave that we've been for the last 2,400 years. this dissension, this whole that we all represent as one, as a class of students that we are at this point in time. We need to recorrect our paths and realign with the purpose of this multidimensional school of consciousness and with the purpose of your forms of your experiences. Because in this descent from what you understand as the one, the whole, in the second age, this world we started to lose awareness of the universe, of many things. And the more we descended in these two ages, we lost all the awareness until year zero, when we had the awareness of few places on this planet. In this multidimensional school of consciousness, we also have a natural process of selection of the students. The students pass to these all 5 ages without being judged, because since we started this journey in ascension, the archetypes of this form, they forget and they didn't implicate necessarily in the creation. And the more we descended in the night, the more we disappear. Now at the entrance in the new day, many of you are, the great majority of you are working at the darkness. This darkness is represented in the first page by the division that were created in these 2.5 ages. The divisions that splitted this one that we all are, part of our purpose of this class, in this multidimensional school of consciousness. And in that sense, no identity created in this 2.5 ages are real or have any legitimacy on this multidimensional school of consciousness. And these ages of the night ended. We as a class, we need to realign in order to break the chain of the lessons that the students of life created. In that sense, We are in the year 1206, and our truth at this point in time, that is will be valid for the next 4 ages, or for the next age, sorry, will be real and aligned according to the tribes, the great tribes. We have 4 great tribes on this planet before we descend in these 2 ages of the night, where everyone divided and created tribes and kingdoms, and we descended in a chaos, but now in light we have the awareness to understand much more about who we are. So this whole that we are the one, we will now organize in 4 major tribes: the tribe of the east, the tribe of the north, the tribe of the west, and the tribe of the south, in order to reorganize. Each soul has his own purpose on his tribe. The north tribe has playground only the north, the east has playground only the east, the south tribe has playground only the south, and the west has the west. This difference in skin are represented by the sun, and the purpose of of the classes in the cycle of the great year. I am incarnating 2 ages in the east, where I play in the morning. I will be born in the east in the next 200 years. This next 200 years represent another transition period for the souls, different from this transition period of 7 years. And after 200 years, we will enter in an age that where souls will live much longer, and this next 200 years represent a transition period where we have to adapt what we created at this point in time with what we have to experience in the next stage, as from the planetary program perspective of our purpose. We don't have a program of evilness on this planet. The light is represented by the masculine archetype. The darkness is represented by the feminine archetypes. We are born teachers on this planet. In light, we theoretically we play in a divine union between light and darkness. On this night of the great year represents 2 ages of the feminine energy, where the masculine doesn't have the consciousness, and we both played the different roles. One of us anchored the plus, and the other the minus of the consciousness. It's part of our planetary program, where all the souls with this interval of consciousness between 25 and 0 at this point started the journey in these 2 ages. Each age has a different level of consciousness, and depending on this age, if you created stupid lessons in hell, for example, you anchored yourself at the level of consciousness between 0 and 25. And if you created lessons at this level and you don't understand, you cannot anchor yourself, grow in consciousness to enter the next stage. And it's a process of natural elimination of experience. Some souls enter purgatory because they cannot incarnate in ages with higher consciousness due to the lessons created in these 2 ages of imbecility, where we don't have any army because none of you can pass the souls to these ages. As a teacher on this planet, we have only one army that is led by me as architect, as teacher of this form. The students of life who are not even leaders, because they cannot answer for the lessons that they created in these 2 ages, where we left the knowledge, the key for the students of life to pass through these ages without creating lessons. The army that we have now represents some division of the whole, where the students of life sent other students of life to commit and to trap themselves in the lessons of these ages, where we are at the lowest level of consciousness, similar to animals, where we create an imbalance not only in ourselves but in this world, an imbalance that affects all the forms, all the experience. Life is life is a person. Life is represented by the divine feminine, and the divine feminine has some serious lessons at this point in time, especially because she doesn't listen. And the quality of life is, the purpose of life at this point in time is the lesson that we have at this point are very serious as a creation, and what we created in this night from the perspective of this multidimensional school of consciousness is we had worse cycle than this, but that's not an excuse for the students of life. Now, I will not try to point the fingers at this point in time, because I'm not sure if you manage, any of you manage that. I will try to explain from a higher perspective, so all of you can understand what we created without judgment. So all of you can review your level of consciousness, where you given titles, claim the lands that are not yours, invented, not to say so I don't destroy this world in pieces. Hence, all this creation that we are working at this point in time, from this multidimensional school of consciousness perspective, represent a darkness. The next step is a rearrangement of the souls in order to balance and close the lessons that we have now, lessons that are mostly created by the white people, by the North tribe that scattered. Anyway, in this world in different parts, and that create at this point only issues, because the North tribe has only the North, and with the returning of these lost ships and the North, all the issues of this world from a military perspective will end. Also from a military perspective, none of you have any army, and none of you have the authority to send or to send other students and life lessons without understanding what you create. A wolf that doesn't pass his flock of sheep through the ages is not a wolf, because in these 2 ages of the night where the wolves were very confused due to the low level of consciousness, they became something else. And to be a wolf, you have to pass your flock of sheep through the ages. This whole divided in many divisions at this point in time. The reality is that we are 4 tribes. 4 tribes that are visible by skin, by the different roles that we play in this multidimensional school of consciousness, where the leadership of this world is passed to all the 4 ages, with my incarnations in all 4 tribes, in a cycle of 8 ages, where I play 2 ages in all the tribes, all 4 tribes. During the morning I play in the east, middle of the day I play in the north, and after I play in the west, and in the night I play in the south. In this cycle of the sun, I return and different tribes that serve different purpose at a different hour in the evolution of humanity, in the growth in consciousness. And during my reincarnation, these tribes in different hour, I anchor different level of consciousness. With this different level of consciousness, the tribe where I'm born represent the level of consciousness. And in light, this level of consciousness is watch the time. I talked much. The video is now too long. I will create another video and I will continue my story. Thank you. Namaste.